Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I don't know if I have ever seen something like this before. I don't remember. Maybe you have greater experience and memory, but I have never seen a newly, freshly elected president of a country within a week, I think, showing up or paying a visit to his masters within a week of his election. I'm talking about Milei. Javier Milei. He is the newly elected president of Argentina. And he's called, libertarian and so on. He's no libertarian. I'm going to show you in this article, from one thing to another, whose puppet he really is. He's not independent. He's not, a libertarian. Let me show you. He's already visiting USA, Washington DC. And guess who he is going to meet? Certain kind of names, very familiar. Why? Because they belong to a certain group. So, Milei meets US officials, International Monetary Fund in post-victory Washington visit. Now, International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, they will give you loans, but they will get something as collateral from you. So this is the way they work. So he's going to get you in big doo-doo. He goes over there to get about $43 billion in loans. A loan, and the IMF and the World Bank will give him some numbers. 43, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, or whatever, dollars. And Argentina will use collateral. That means if you don't pay, he's going to take goods, property. That means I'm going to lend you money, but if you don't pay, money that I just print, numbers, if you don't pay, you're going to give me stuff that you worked for. That's the way it works. This is how the racket works. The same works with the oil, with the Americans and the third world countries. They say, you want oil for your country, petroleum? You gotta pay in dollars. How do you get the dollars? Doing business with me. Like what? You sell me a good that was already built by you that I would want to use, and I'm gonna print some greenbacks, some dollars, and I'm gonna give it to you. So I'm getting the thing that I'm using, you get the paper or the number, and you buy the oil from the Arabs. Understand? I get the things, I give you paper, and you buy oil. That's how the racket works. So that's with the same thing with IMF. IMF, look how many countries' economy recovered because of IMF or the World Bank. So let's move on. I've never seen someone coming immediately to his masters so quickly, but hey, this is it. So Argentine President-elect Javier Milei met with US officials days ahead of his inaugurations as a libertarian. Looks to shore up support for his plans to fix the crisis-torn economy. He's not going to fix it with IMF and World Bank. I guarantee you that's the way these guys are going to do it. They're going to get loans. And after they get loans, the first thing they're going to do, they're going to privatize certain sectors of the economy. Privatization is like this. Money is already ready and the companies are already ready. We will not be allowed in the room to compete with them, even if we have double the money. The game is already rigged, is already set. So we'll see how he's gonna do it. He's gonna privatize, it's gonna be the first thing, which is fine, but I saw how Romania was privatized. I know how Russia was privatized. I know how Ukraine was privatized. With outside loans, money, they bought your country. Certain industries, certain businesses, they were in their hands with a little bit of bribes here and there, and that was it. So I don't expect it to be different here either. So let's move on. Milei met with National Security Advisor. Where would you meet with National Security Advisor? Is it because of China, Brazil, Russia? Jake Sullivan, a weasel, and top officials from the National Security Council. Why would you meet with people from American or US National Security Council? Why? Because you're going to be owned by them. And then the State Department. The State Department, Who's in the State Department? That's the Foreign Ministry. That is, you have Blinken, who's a Zelensky Stein. Undersecretary of State is who? Victoria Nuland, Zelensky Stein. Just a coincidence. But hey, I got some more coincidences of the same kind in a moment. It's just a coincidence. So anyway, then he met with the International Monetary Fund and Treasury Department. Who's the Secretary of Treasury Department in USA? Yellen, Janet Yellen, a Zelensky Stein. So far you got Foreign Minister, right? Foreign Affairs, Blinken, Zelensky Stein, Nuland, Zelensky Stein, Money, US, Zelensky Stein, Yellen. I'm not done. Wait. I'm going to show you how I found more of the same just by looking at Wikipedia, because it sounded familiar. It sounded familiar by name. You can make shit up, man. Look at this one. Argentina is preparing to reset its $43 billion loan agreement with IMF. I explained that, which has gone off track under the current government. Why? Maybe they didn't want to be someone's bitch. At the same time, Washington is growing increasingly concerned about China's influence in Argentina. So what has Washington to do with Argentina? Well, they own it now. You know what I mean? So what if you're concerned with China and Argentina? Oh, you got your man over there. Now, here it is. The meetings, plural, were organized with the help of the U.S. ambassador to Argentina. So the U.S. ambassador to Argentina, and his name is Mark Stanley. And I was thinking, sounds familiar. Mark, no, with a C, not a K over there, and then Stanley. I said, where did I hear that name Stanley? Oh, you know where? Paul Stanley. You know Paul Stanley? He's the lead vocals at the rock and roll band or rock band, US hard rock band, Kiss. I was made for loving you, baby. You were made for loving me. Pop it up. Okay, those guys. Oh, okay. Or lick it up. So I said, man, that sounds familiar. So bang. Who that? That's Paul Stanley. Here he is. His name is Stanley Bert Eisen. All right, Eisen. Both parents are Jewish. Nothing wrong with that. I said, oy vey. Let me see. And this is Mark Stanley, the ambassador. Ram pam pam. And what's over there? Born to a Jewish family. Just a coincidence. But I'm not done. It's not over until it's over. It's not over. You're gonna see some more Zelensky Stein. You can't make shit up, man. It's so easy. And the problem is, as someone said, these guys are going to have too much chutzpah, and they're going to how should I put it? Give up the game, or the gig is up. People will notice just by reading an article. I already have pak. Let me show you another one. Right here, the meetings were organized by Argentina. So this is the U.S. ambassador to Argentina. Now you say, well, yeah, but it's normal because you see, there's a big minority, Jewish minority in Argentina. That's true, but so is German minority coming after the Second World War, and not only. And so is a Spanish minority, and many others. So why don't we have that? And if we are to use the same logic, then why is this guy, where is it? Why is this guy, I lost him, I'm going to find him. Why is this guy the ambassador to Japan? Is there a Jewish minority in Japan as well? Because he is Jewish, which is, again, nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, I'm just saying. He was a Jewish paramilitary organization. He was that. Okay, his maternal grandfather was a Moldovan Jew and so on. So nothing wrong with that. Okay, I'm just pointing out things. All right. Now we're going to go back to the original article because I'm not done. That's the problem. So this is the U.S. ambassador. We have not this one, right? We got Stanley. And then we go here, it says also participating in the meetings was Argentine businessman Gerardo Wertheim. Not Weinstein, Wertheim. But for me it was like, ping, what? Sounds familiar, Stanley. Expected to be Milei's pick for US ambassador. So this Gerardo will be the Argentine ambassador to US, as Stanley is the US ambassador, so a Jewish guy in Argentina, and Verstein, another Jewish guy, in the US. You can make shit up. Here he is. Gerardo Verstein. And he was born in Buenos Aires in a wealthy family of Jewish origins from Russia. Another Jewish. So, and here is his face. And he was the Olympic something for Argentina. He's an Argentinian businessman. He was the president of the Argentine Olympic Committee, 2009-2021. Good for him. And here, it says here, in November 2023, President-elect Javier Milei announced the nomination of Verstein as Argentine ambassador to the United States of America. So you have Blinken. He's met with those guys over there. We got Victoria Nuland. You got Yellen, right, with the money in the U.S. IMF and World Bank, check some names over there too. He's got the U.S. ambassador to Argentina, Stanley, not Paul Stanley. And then he's got now the nominee, the appointed ambassador to U.S., the Argentina's ambassador to U.S., Verstein. So you know who's who, what's what. So who do you think this libertarian works for? Who? Romanians? Have you heard of any Romanian name over there? Any French name? Any Russian name? Anybody? No. All right, my friends. So my friends from Argentina, tell Messi hello from me. And I hope you're going to have a good life. What I think is going to happen, your country will be caught by the balls just like this. All right? And you might think that you're going to eat a little bit better, if that's a big problem for you. You think you're going to eat something better, a little bit better, but your freedoms will be a little bit like your country will be caught by the balls. And remember, better a little bit poorer but free than, eat a little bit better but a servant. And regarding food, you don't know what you're eating nowadays. It's something that tastes like food, looks like food, smells like food, but is it food? You know how they hide stuff? On the packages of certain food, they don't give you all the information about what you are eating and what is in it. Why? Why? If they have nothing to hide, they will say, that's this, that's this, that's that. But they won't do it. They fight it. They fight it not to print it. In Europe, they have a longer list. In US, have a smaller list. Okay? So a lot of food from here cannot be sold in Europe because the Europeans ask for the long list. And these guys don't want to provide the long list, because if this guy's going to put a long list, the Europeans will not agree with that extra, because that extra is illegal probably in Europe. So, yeah, you're going to eat better in Argentina. Like the Romanians are eating better nowadays. Are they free? They have occupation troops on their land. Oh, they call it NATO troops to defend us. So you need a neighbor to deploy his troops in your country to defend you from a boogeyman, right? Or someone else. But you don't have troops in his country to help him defend against the same boogeyman. Very strange, don't you think? So Milei, you know whose man he is. Good luck. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.